Hello guys, sorry about that. I think the audio wasn't working. I hope it's working now. But yeah, that's what happened in the last one. So yeah, I was just talking about Smith Rowe, Bentley and Calafiori. It seemed like I was talking to myself really. I'm not sure what has happened here with the chat. I'll just try and sort this out for a second. It just shouldn't be too long. But yeah, I've just seen the comments that were coming in. No audio. That was a mistake. Man City on top. Man City giving you poisoning from all that plastic. But yeah, Manchester City, we need to be able to beat them next season. That's without a shadow of a doubt. They are an absolute machine. So the sort of signings we need to be making need to be on the level of Manchester City in terms of players that can compete against them. We see Dan Bentley, I was talking about him, but you couldn't hear me. A goalkeeper under £1 million. I don't think it will be that big of an issue really. He's played against us, if you guys remember, actually last season when we played against Wolves at home. He actually played pretty well. I thought he played really well for Wolves at the back. He really did have quite an eye for a pass. I know he's normally their second choice goalkeeper, so we can't really give an assessment on him because he doesn't play that much for them. But there was an actual part of last season where for Wolves, he was the first choice for a little bit. Jose Sarr was on the bench. I just want to make sure, guys, can you hear me? If you are in the chat, please type if you can hear me. I don't want the same issues that were happening before. But yeah, Dan Bentley, he is a quality goalkeeper from what I've seen. He can play out from the back. He can play football, and that's what you need sometimes. It seems like we are prioritizing a goalkeeper who can play rather than somebody, who's a shot stopper, which I don't know if that's a good thing really. I like to have variety of goalkeepers, not just a goalkeeper who's good with their feet, but a goalkeeper who's really good with their shot stopping as well. But Mikel Arteta seemingly is prioritizing that player who is a goalkeeper who can play with their feet. But yeah, under 1 million, I wouldn't really, criticize this signing. It's not that bad, to be honest. We just needed a second or third choice goalkeeper. It didn't matter how they came, and Dan Bentley seems to be the sort of player that we're going after. Emile Smith Rowe as well. A bid has apparently come in for him from Fulham. We know the quality that Smith Rowe has, but it just seems like he's not going to get the game time he wants here, and that's such a shame, really. We know that he can play football, he can play really well. And one thing I was a bit disappointed about with Smith Rowe, hello Samuel Ajayi, the one thing I was really disappointed about with Emile Smith Rowe is the fact that we didn't see him play enough at left wing. I feel like we needed to see more minutes from him there. There was times where, whether it was Trossard or Martinelli at the left wing, they weren't really giving us the quality we needed. And we know that Smith Rowe has played left wing for us, particularly 2 seasons ago, and he was quality there. The connection with Saka was there, and I just thought, when are we going to see Arteta experiment and give Smith Rowe an opportunity at left wing? But it never really happened. And I just feel like sometimes Arteta needs to give opportunity to players in those positions he knows they can play well, because I know a lot of people say Smith Rowe can play in the number 8 role. He did play in the number 8 role against Luton last season. I thought he was pretty good. He got the man of the match, but again, we didn't see him again after that game. So it's just about trusting a player like Smith Rowe to play in that really, really congested midfield area. And it seems like Arteta hasn't really got the trust for him to play there. So hence Fulham coming in for that 25 million bid. Smith Rowe has said already, apparently, that he wants to go to a place where he's guaranteed first team football. Clearly that's not going to happen at Arsenal. So if he was to go to Fulham for that 25 million, I would accept it. Although I do absolutely love Smith Rowe, I feel like it is maybe time for him to move on and go to somewhere where he's going to be playing a lot of football, and we can reinvest that money and get a player who's better suited to our game. Somebody like, I don't know, we can put that towards a João Neves. I know he's a lot of money, but having pure profit from Smith Rowe's sale would be pretty good, and I feel like we can reinvest that in such a very good way. And I know in the last live I did, somebody said Ilkay Gundogan. There were small murmurs about him. I don't think that's going to happen. Barcelona value him very highly. But if that came, would I take him? I don't know. I think age is a big thing for me. I do know we need a bit of experience in that midfield area and across the pitch. But spending, 25 million, 20 million on Ilkay Gundogan, although he knows the Premier League, how many seasons is he going to give you? Is he going to give you 4 good seasons? Is he going to give you 2 good seasons? I feel like there's just too much of a risk. And I feel like at the Euros, he wasn't really at the level we know he can play at. I know in the first 2 games, Ilkay Gundogan was absolutely incredible for Germany. The pockets of space he was picking up, the perfect, number 8, dropping back as well, defending. Arteta would be proud of that sort of performance from a number 8. But is he what we need in this moment of time? It's been interesting as well that the Bruno Guimaraes rumours have just gone completely silent. Like, ever since his release clause expired, there's not been a lot of talk about him. So I'm just thinking, are we still in for Bruno Guimaraes? Is he somebody that Arteta still wants at the club? It's just a lot to talk about really there. I know that Bruno Guimaraes would be really good. I feel like him, Rice and Odegaard will form a really good midfield trio, and we can really play a lot of good football there. You know, we can have Bruno come into the six when Rice goes forward, and you can really see a nice connection building up. But I see people's issue with Bruno Guimaraes is that he hasn't got the quality in the final third, which is quite strange because he is really good with his feet, really good, you know, passing, really good, you know, he's just a really good player overall, and somebody I can see fitting into Mikel Arteta's system and has quite a bit of versatility playing in the 6 and the 8 like Rice can do. So I would definitely be interested in Bruno Guimaraes if the fee is under 60 million or around 60 million. We know that Newcastle have kind of recovered from that, you know, issue with FFP or whatever you want to call it. So maybe they aren't going to accept a bid any lower than the release clause of Bruno Guimaraes. Now on to Calafiori. Fabrizio Romano has said again that Calafiori is somebody that Arsenal are heavily going for now. This week is the decisive week, and that Arsenal are actually very confident with the signing of Ricardo Calafiori, which is always nice to see really when, you know, we have these players and they want to come to us and we want to get it done. It can go really smoothly, but apparently again negotiations aren't clear, and that is actually quite difficult, you know, in the negotiations. So it'll be interesting to see this deal get done this week. I really hope it does get done. We need to start pressing on with these signings now. Pre-season is coming pretty soon, and we need to just get things done quickly. We want to be having a squad that's ready from the get-go, not just waiting till the end of the window and getting these players in towards the end. We need them now, really. And everyone that is in here, just make sure you have smashed the like button. It really does help push the stream up. Thank you for joining. And yeah, Calafiori does seem like something that's going to happen really soon. We know he has a lot of quality and he can fit across the back line, like I've said. Left back, centre half, you know, 2 positions there. You can really have a variety of a back line. You can go Timber left back, Calafiori centre back with Saliba, and then Ben White right back. You can play Calafiori at centre back with Timber, go White right back, and then Tomiyasu left back. Just gives you so much. You have, you know, so much variety in the way you can play football, and I feel like I'm just excited to see how Calafiori will be utilised from Mikel Arteta. But yeah, very exciting stuff. There's also been Dorgu and the guy from Watford, Asprilla. Really interesting news there. I've watched a couple of Asprilla's clips, and I don't like to say this, but he plays a bit like Bukayo Saka in the way that he's always, you know, coming onto that left foot. A lot of confidence on the ball, a lot of dribbling technique and skill. Somebody who can really bend a ball into the top left corner. I'm going to make a video on him. I feel like sometimes we need to go for the younger profiles, and someone like Asprilla who's fairly young may be the way to go. I feel like people ignore how good the Championship is. Championship has a lot of quality footballers, and we've got to start investing there, I feel like. Look at Michael Olise, signed from QPR from Crystal Palace. He's now playing at Bayern Munich. A lot of teams have taken the Championship players and sold them on for a lot of money. But yeah, that is where I am going to end the live. Thank you guys so much for joining. It has been a pleasure, and hopefully a couple more lives coming soon. And until next time, peace.